Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Disco Elysium, where I am still thinking that we might be able to get these boots. Do we need these boots? No, definitely not. Why do I even want them? I'm not certain, but I have become fixated on getting these boots off of this corpse, and unfortunately, there's one more lead we could try. According to the fridge victim's body thing, maybe we could ask Kuno or some other local kids where we might find a place to preserve a body. I don't want to talk to Kuno, ever, under any circumstances, but maybe we ought to go talk to Kuno. Some other local kids might refer to the daughter of the woman who runs the bookstore, but I can't imagine that she is still outside at this hour. So I guess let's go and have yet another very productive discussion with Kuno, and then if that doesn't work, I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we'll just have to send the body for processing, because if we want to wait until after Kim goes to sleep to try to steal the boots, I mean, decay is tough, you know? Decay makes fools of us all in time. So we do have this skill point. If we're going to talk to Kuno, we might want to pop this skill point into empathy and see if we can't hit that very difficult check that he has as well. I mean, I guess let's start here.
You missed it at show before. A gift came by and completely fucked a tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up. Fucked it good. It was porno.
You guys sure do love saying fuck. I mean, listen, I was also a child once. I guess I kind of get it. Let's not join in with the racial slurs. That's not even better. That might actually be worse. Yeah, listen, I wish I could have been here to see it. I have some questions. Kuno, I need a fridge in which to stash the body. What do you think about that? I just don't even want to read his dialogue, you know? Listen, you can all see it. Kuno knows where a fridge is. Yeah, really? I don't believe you. Kuno knows all kinds of shit. Kuno gets around. Alright, where can I find this perfect fridge, then? Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it for the Kuno? He crosses his arms. What's the return on Kuno's investment? Well, I don't think he actually wants the yard to be corpse-free. He seems to enjoy having a corpse here. We do have a pretty decent rhetoric check. We might be able to just hit this. I'm definitely not going to call him kind sir, so I guess this is what we're doing. I mean, pretty good odds, right? Of course. Kuno's a poor kid from a poor neighborhood. Say your job is on the line. He'll sympathize. No, he will not. Am I sure about this? This sounds kinda weak. That's not my problem with it. My problem with it is Kuno. No, it's not weak. It's sincere. Do not confuse sincerity with weakness. That is solid advice, generally speaking. Say it. Trust me. Kid, this is serious. My job is on the line. If I don't get this sorted, I might actually get fired. What the fuck are you doing right now? He looks at you suspiciously. The fuck is this shit? Don't pay attention to him. Just keep telling your sad story. Stupid sorry cop brain. I've lost almost everything, Kuno. My memory, my money, even my name. I can't lose my job, too. Please, I just wish I had the option to just walk away from the conversation, because everyone involved here knows this is not going anywhere. The lieutenant's eyes flash behind his glasses. It's not that dramatic. We can just send the body to processing. Kuno's never seen anything so lame, he says, mostly to himself. Listen, pig, if you were Kuno, the fuck would you care? This isn't working at all. You lied to me, Golden Mouth Man. No, you just haven't done it long enough. You need to do it even longer. The Golden Mouth Man is a liar. He cannot be trusted, sire. He only wants to humiliate you. No, it's the face blob who's trying to humiliate you. Why does he speak like that? Why can't he speak like a normal person? So we cannot trust our own sense of rhetoric here. I love this thing that happens where the different parts of your brain are arguing with each other. This is such a cool way, of using the dialogue system to communicate the interiority of this character. Because we all get into this situation sometimes, right? Where, you are pretty sure you know one thing and you're pretty sure you know another thing, and those things are in conflict, and one of them is probably wrong. I am not going to attempt to... I'm not going to debase myself before Kuno anymore on this particular topic, I think. Let's see. This isn't about me. It's about the people I'm trying to help. We could try to appeal to his sense of civic pride, but my suspicion is that's not going anywhere either. I'm not saying this. I'm not buying into his whole ridiculous thing. I guess this is the option that I think has the least chance of him just laughing at me. This isn't about me, Kuno. It's about the people I'm trying to help. It's too late for me anyway. Oh. Stop shitting yourself in front of the Kuno. Kuno thought you were some kind of big shit. What is this? Why? When did you think that? Why don't we go pester some other kids now? He says impatiently. It's actually not a bad idea. Kids do see stuff. I kind of want to put that skill point we have into empathy and then just try this. I think the empathy check with the truck driver is pretty important anyway. I'm going to do it. Let's go ahead and spend our skill point in that way. And our empathy is, like, pretty high. This is still going to be... Yeah, still going to be a pretty tough check. Well, I'm going for it. You know, one of these days we're going to roll high when we actually need to roll high, instead of rolling high when we don't need almost anything at all, and then rolling low at all other times. Okay, so we don't have anything new here. You feel a sudden surge of self-pity coming on. Yeah, we've seen this. I guess this one? Kuno. City of Rage. Night City. What's going on there? I'm intrigued. No! The evil shit behind the fence hacks like she's coughing up a furball. I don't understand how that could be... Okay, whatever. You told him about it, now he knows you're lame. The city's not fucking lame. You're lame. Kuno's tired of defending Rage City from... He waves his hands in the air. Just fuck off, alright? And fuck you too, he adds, turning to you. Putting Kuno on the spot like that. Kuno doesn't need to fucking explain his shit. Kuno's king. He rules here. Fuck did you want? Explain himself. As if explaining some kind of work. Some kind of avant-garde work way ahead of its time. Yeah, man. I'm intrigued. I was kind of expecting that to give a +1 on this check, honestly. You must get to the bottom of this one of these days. Sadly, it's unlikely to happen today. Ah, well. So yeah, the kid in front of the bookstore, no way that she is still going to be in front of the bookstore. It's 1 in the morning. I wonder if the bookstore's still open. Am I allowed to go in here? Hold on. I had a red thought there for a moment. Maybe not. Maybe I was just seeing things. Okay. Am I allowed to go in here? Is this still open? No. That makes sense. The lights are still on, so I thought maybe, but... Right, hold on. Let's go back to the, to this wall that we can... This wall that was begging to be painted. Because that check is white in our journal. I'm just curious if we can, if we actually can attempt it again. Because it doesn't seem like we should be able to. Okay, well we talked to Cindy. I guess that was enough. You know what? We may as well try. Maybe we'll hit the double 6. We sure didn't. Okay. Why must we stop to look at this wall every time we pass by? We have business to attend to. Kim, you can go to bed if you are tired of following me. Actually, I should try to tell him that. Hey, Kim, you want to go to bed?
Yes.
I'm not allowed to tell him to go to bed. Okay. It's just there are some things that I want to do. I guess we can try talking to Kuno S. Maybe there'll be something to have here.
Trying to snuff me out? Get away, pig.
Nope. No conversation available. Well... What's my move now, then? We probably will not be able to speak to the truck driver. I can't imagine he's still out there. I think... No, we checked. We know for a fact he's not still out there. Maybe we need to go to bed? Kind of what I'm doing here is I'm burning time until Kim falls asleep, basically. So we've been pretty thorough over here, I think. Yeah. Because once Kim goes to bed, we might be able to mess with the body a little bit, and we can attempt to get the shoes off, and then I can try to set it for processing myself. Hold on, there was something that I wanted to do with the car. What was that? Yeah, we have this thing to come back to. We'll try that. Right. Do we want to run the serial number on these boots? Is it a good idea to draw the station's attention to the boots if we intend to steal them and then wear them around afterward? Probably not, right? I guess let's not do that. Did all of the truck drivers go to sleep? Wait, hold on. Is that a person? What is that? Stop running. No, that's like a street. Never mind. That's just like a fence post or something partially occluded. I thought it was the top of a head. Did the spacey one go to sleep as well? I was curious if we might have any additional questions. Oh, she's still out here.
No, man. You got me at an opportune moment. This awful weather gives me away. You gotta tell me with your questions.
That's interesting. Before I came, you seemed away. She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things. So he doesn't think she's the smuggler. You hear that, lawman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me. Yeah, why is that, Lieutenant? Nothing. I just don't think she's connected to anything. He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something here. That's fair. He's seen me freak out over very little. Something unconnected to the case. But connected this woman tuning out like that. Yeah, my sense of drama is not always great at English. It's a tricky language. Hey, should you drive a lorry if you space out like that? Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camionneurs around. I drive routes no one else will. Okay, what routes? Lomonosov's land. Udaknaya Zemlia? I don't know. The Western Plain. She nods and closes her eyes again, letting her mind submerge. The Transkatla Magistral, U-41A, as Estradas do Mirador, all the good ones. The deep trenches, where the bluebirds fly. She opens her eyes again and shudders. Listen, I'm something of an expert in blacking out. You should take better care of yourself. She looks you over and scoffs. You're right, lawman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me. Okay. A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby. I mean, she's not wrong, but she still shouldn't say it like that. Okay, well, apparently we have nothing else to say to her. I kind of figured. I agree with Kim's assessment. It doesn't seem like she's wrapped up in any of this, but we don't really have all that many leads to follow right at this moment. And I'm trying to spend, like I said, I'm trying to burn time until Kim goes to bed, but I'm trying to do so usefully. The windows are clear. Yeah, okay. Mostly what I was curious about was whether the lorry driver was sleeping in there. So everybody else has had the good sense to go indoors. Oh hey, there's just like money on the ground over here. Hell yeah, 28 cents. I'm not too rich for 28 cents. I am not allowed to break into the store. You know, Kim would frown on it. I guess we're sort of out of things to do. We could spend some time ringing a bunch of buzzers over here, which is definitely an enjoyable time, but I don't think necessarily directly related to our quest. I guess we could go back and talk to Everett and tell him we'll do whatever the thing is that he wants me to do. I'm kind of curious about it. I wonder if he does know where my gun is. Or if he just, if he just has people out hunting for it. Sneak out after he's gone to sleep. Maybe the best way to deal with... Yeah, maybe the best way to deal with Kim would be to go inside, pretend I'm going to sleep. He'll call it a night too. Let's try that. See if we can do that. I can't interact with the thing anymore. There we go. I was standing too close to it. Everybody knows if you stand too close to a door, it becomes inoperable. That's just physics, man. Okay, press space to stop. That's a useful, well, that's a semi-useful control. So yeah, we'll go to bed. We'll see if Kim will just go to bed, and then I will try to stealthily get back out here and steal the boots off this body while Kuno watches? That's a bad idea. What's my plan for dealing with Kuno? I don't know. We'll improvise. We'll figure it out on the night. Which I know is right now, but you know, later on the night. Okay, we are going to just pretend to go to bed, probably. Maybe actually go to bed. I guess we'll see. We could knock for that woman, for the woman who lives up here, but it's so late at night I probably shouldn't bother her. What is this? We should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it. Sorry, the what now? The living shit. Your mesolimbic reward pathway does not mince words. It wants smokes. Oh, am I a smoker? Who knows what you are? Yeah, fair enough. A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously. But she broke it at the filter. I can't smoke that. How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that, a carton! Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied, then smoke them all. I'll think about it. I'm not going to do this. Good. Thinking about yummy cigarettes in your mouth is the next best thing. Make sure you think about juicy sticks of tobacco all the time, though. It doesn't count if it's not all the time. And when you're done thinking about them, graduate to getting them. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses. That seems unlikely. Actually, no, that's probably true, but I'm still probably not going to do it, because I bet there are also downsides. Hey, Kim, let's call it a night. There, brother. I don't have a control for that. Okay, I'm going to go into my room, from whence I can call it a night. This is the door to the room you redecorated. Here we go. Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Okay, it's weird that we couldn't just do it here, but alright. Why does he want to go out to the balcony? Is it so that we can witness some kind of thing he has sensed is going to occur? Is Kim a precog? He might be. That's my working theory for now. The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum, then...
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCN. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically.
I think I got it. So how do you think today went? Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. I would say our initial inspection was very thorough, and we have solid leads to follow up on. Then you shot him in the chest, which wasn't ideal, very diplomatic. But we did manage to get him down from the tree, so, as they say, all's well that ends well. By not ideal, he means he can't believe he let you try that trick and would be angry if he didn't feel the outcome was partly his responsibility. Yeah, I still can't believe I missed that shot. Being sober tends to help with precision. Anyway, we performed a field autopsy on the victim and found some things we can really work with. I still feel like we're missing something, but we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great. Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean. He takes a deep drag and looks at the city. Hey, that's my forte. Unlike most cops, I understand how important communication is in our line of work. Technically, this word should be pronounced fort because it comes from the French strength instead of the Italian loud, but I think in our case, it's appropriate to go with loud and projectile-y. Very important indeed. Well, we conducted an interview with Everard Clare. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however. He's not saying much on the matter because he thinks you could have gotten more out of Everard. Well, I'm sure I can get him to tell us more. Claire also helped you. How should I say, remember your name? That's a relief. I don't know how I feel about my name, actually. Oh no, actually I kind of like this. I feel like this is the kind of poetry our character has in his heart, right? I want a different name, one I haven't ruined yet. You can look into the process of changing your name after we finish the investigation. We tried to interview the Wild Pines rep, but she just asked us to do something for her first. Fine, so be it. He purses his lips. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous this situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Yeah, well, okay, we'll try that empathy check in the morning. We might be able to get there. If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it really must be important. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that standard Precinct 41 practice? I bet he doesn't say this if you don't double-click all the time. I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow. I don't know why I do the things I do, Lieutenant Kisaragi. He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on his cigarette. It's impressive, especially for a man your age, and in those heels. He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. And then I say nothing and just look dramatically into the night. The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. Finally, he pulls on the cigarette and says, "They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH. Yeah, why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company. Not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you, this place is an orphan, fallen between the cracks. And in Jamrock and the GRIH?" He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky and says, "We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are..." He shakes his head. "But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. Well, I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here. At least do some good. I feel like I owe them that at this point." "Me too," he says quietly. "But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes." He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older. Alright, I don't feel like I need to ask him about the RCM. I think we got the RCM information. I'm going to ask him about the smoking, though. "I didn't know you smoked, Kim." "I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual." Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette. How did you get so cool, Kim? The light of his cigarette illuminates a fleeting smile. "You mean this?" He flicks the ash. "This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will. And unhealthy. Yet were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit, below it all. I mean, sure, that jacket." Right then, the debrief. I am not going to ask him for a cigarette. Thank you for this. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go. Puts out the stub of his cigarette and looks to the door. Again, still weird that you dragged me out here for this. It's like we could have done this inside and not had to go through 2 loading screens. I mean, I guess he wanted to smoke. But frankly, he could have just smoked in my room. It's not like it's going to make the place any dirtier. Yep, see you in the morning. Go ahead and go into your room. And just leave me to my business. Bye, he says. Then I look at the ceiling fan. I do not pull on the fan. That seems deeply foolish. We don't have that check available, right? Yeah, the mirror is an electrochemistry check. We would have to spend a skill point to unlock. Where are we at on our next skill point? 55? Alright, and we have some stuff cooking in our thought catalog, right? 33 minutes on this, 15 minutes on that. Okay. That other thing won't be ready until the morning. I am going to evade Kim's notice by running loudly outside his door, and then we're going to go and, I don't know, man. Maybe this is a bad idea. The more I think about it, the more it seems like a bad idea, but I also feel like I've really committed to it already. Let's go try to steal those boots off that corpse. If it doesn't work and I end up destroying his legs, I'm just going to blame Kuno. That's my plan. You know what? Maybe we want to wait until after 2 in the morning, though, because we've seen on the loading screen a number of times that... we've seen a tip on the loading screen that suggests that people go to sleep around 2 by 2, like it's dead outside. So maybe Kuno will have gone to bed. I would really love to do this without Kuno around. So I guess we can go check out the pawn shop some more? I don't know. You know what we could do? We actually have some items in our inventory that we could interact with that we haven't actually interacted with. This might be a good time for this. A gleaming chewing gum wrapper found in the pocket of the laborer jeans. It gives off an ever so faint scent of apricots. Your mouth starts watering, and now we know a little bit about why. There it is again, the scent of apricots with a touch of cinnamon. It smells like the end of some distant summer, the surface of another planet or some ancient temple. Take a deep, deep breath. Bitter, citrus, sweet. It seems to grow stronger, like a glow, with every breath you take. Whatever petrochemical byproducts they use to create this artificial flavor have bonded tightly to the wrapper. Or is that just your memory filling in the gaps? Thought gained. Apricot chewing gum scented one. Until a blossom of skin and flower petals erupts in behind of your closed eyes. That's not the way we would usually say that. Made of toffee, cream, and distance. You just had to take a dive. Yeah, we know what's up with this. I don't want to get into this anymore right this moment, because I'm worried that I will pass out again without Kim here to protect us. Let's look at this book. The cover features a row of concrete buildings with a monochrome rainbow in the sky. It tells a rather excruciating story about 2 lovers during an ethnic unrest in Yugograd. The book has been filed under psychological realism. Man, I'm a little worried that reading this is also going to give me an episode. I guess we can interact with this racist-ass mug. Did we do this already? Did we look at this already? It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Okay, I think we're good on that. I guess let's examine the book. In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekartina Dahl. Cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow. Feels heavy. Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. There's something in this book. How long is this book, anyway? You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. Nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading. Some people actually believe this. Let's look at the back cover. The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author. She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph, and yet from this cover the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you. I mean, I guess we could just, read a little bit for, half an hour? Breakthrough imminent. In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 1920s. Youths overturn motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. The Yugograd riots took place from TK to TK. That's, I wonder if that's, you were supposed to fill stuff in here and the developer just forgot? Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics. These events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. In excruciating detail, the author describes the socio-economic conditions that have brought the people of Yugograd into the streets, centuries of humiliations and despair. And then, During these riots, two young people meet. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? I am at full health. I'm gonna read 10 more pages. It's not quite time yet. Oh, morale critical. I mean, yeah. Oh. Like, okay, I see. So when you go under 1 morale, it gives you a little timer and you have to pop a thing. It's a little bit like the Earthbound health system, actually. Their happiness is fleeting. A cruel jest. The absurdity of the state totally crushes them, and they end up betraying each other. She becomes an official for the regime, and he, a lens grinder in Ferdiderke, which definitely sounds like a real place, and not a bad impression of the Swedish chef. The end. Good stuff. I fucking loved this. I think that's the first time our pain threshold has spoken up. Alright, well let's put that book away. I don't know that we necessarily gained a lot there. Thought catalog. Can I please access my thought catalog? Yeah, that's what I want to look like. We tell them, hell no! You're about to become a magnesium-based life form. The age of the primitive carbon man is done. No longer must mankind rely on the slow-working background radiation to take us further into our genetic destiny. This is the era of guided evolution, and magnesium is the key. You are the first of your species, the next step in human evolution. An advanced magnesium proto-man who mags it up, drinks it down, and sniffs it sideways. I do feel like that's basically who we are. So +2 volition, which is actually pretty cool, and -1 logic, which is not like totally ideal. Oh, we also completed this thought while we were reading. And the little guy gets smaller and smaller as you rise above the dollhouse world. So, to be clear, in case anyone was confused by the way these are all starting, these all, like, the first line of these is all intended to be right after the last line of their completion description. You see him out in the snow, on the streets, in the shop on the corner, and, finally, in a matchbox house. Sitting by the window, white flowers on the windowsill. You can smell them from up here. It's awful. A white mourning, a modern death. Divorce or something similar. All you can do is put more distance between you and him. Make him smaller. Make him less you. For some reason, that raised all my motorics caps, and it also has increased the amount we're allowed to zoom the camera out. What a weird thing. Ah, and increasing our volition has given us more morale. Okay, well that's a real good thought then. I'm glad that we pushed through that one. That was magnesium-based life form that did that? Yeah. Definitely worth the loss of a point of logic. So our logic's still 3, right? Yeah, it's still fine. It maybe might be worth putting a point into at some point. Really? Kuno, you're still here? Man, don't you have a bedtime? Can I tell him to go to bed? Hey, Kuno, go to bed.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Okay, no, I cannot. Maybe if I unload the map and then reload it post 2 o'clock. Yes, Kuno S is saying they should leave. Saying let's get out of here. Let's hope that this works, because otherwise we're going to be in some trouble. Wait, did I notice this before? No, I did not, somehow. It must be the case that there are some things that don't appear when you hold tab, unless you're at certain, like, perception or stat thresholds. Because we are definitely finding things in places where we were looking around before. Nope, Kuno is still here, damn it. Well, I mean, we don't really... It's now or never, you know? Alright, let's try it. The body is reluctant to let go of the boots, as though they were its last bit of dignity. Whoa, Kuno's little sneak pig's back for the booty. Yeah, fuck it to pieces for us. Liar cop. Okay, liar cop. Let's pull on this right boot. Let's see if we can... How's he laying? He's laying with his left leg up. Let's start with the left boot. It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot, but you are able to get the boot to move a centimeter or two. Alright, what about the other one? It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid polymer sock beneath the boot. Just relax. This is easy. This is happening. Yeah, we have good interfacing. We should be able to do this. See? The corpse doesn't care if you try to take his boots. He doesn't need them. He's probably glad to get rid of them. Weird empathy check. If we step on the corpse and try to use more force, we are just going to rip a piece of it off, I'm afraid. Let's twist the boots off one by one, just like slowly. This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off, with nasty slices of polymer sock stuck to even bigger pieces of skin and rotting flesh. Look, he's skinning the fucker up good. Puko style, maybe. Hell, keep at it, pig. Alright, let's take stock of the damage here. The legs look like they've been clawed at by wild animals. As for the boots, well, you can't possibly do anything with them until you have cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly. These absolutely need to be washed before. The stink is incredible. Well, we knew that was going to be the case. Hey, didn't the whirling have a kitchen? It did, in fact, have a kitchen. Well, I have some just incredibly gross boots now. Weirdly, not actually in my... Okay, they're in the interact part of the inventory. Don't smell these boots. Better yet, don't even think about them. Unless it's to think about how you're going to get them clean. For now, unsellable, unwearable, just downright disgusting. But hey, free boots. And again, I'm just going to tell him that Kuno stole them. Oh wait, actually, can I bag the body up for processing now? Because what if we just made it so Kim never gets to see the body? Damn it. Well, the thing is, I collected them for evidence. I collected them so they could work as evidence. That's what happened. That's why this is like that. Don't worry about it, Kim. I don't think we've seen any other places where we could theoretically wash these. I'm pretty sure. So I guess we'll try the kitchen at the Whirling. Hopefully Gart is no longer at the front desk, because if he is, yeah, that's unfortunate. We're not going to be able to access the kitchen. Well, that being the case, I guess we can just go to bed now. It seems like we need to. What is that? Oh no, let me in. How are they locking this door? I should be able to unlock it with my incredible brute force. Hold on, let's talk to him. Let's see if we can get him to open the kitchen for us. Hey, I need a drink. Can you pour me one? Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this, he points to his empty hand, is this a shaker? He sounds irritated. Thanks, empathy. And it's not a shaker. It's nothing. He's holding nothing. You sound irritated. Why, man? All I want is a drink. Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this? He shakes the imaginary shaker furiously. Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? No? Do you know why? Why, man? Why? Because I'm not a bartender. I'm a cafeteria manager. Is there anything else you wanted? Alright, play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff. I don't actually want a drink. I was just kind of hoping that I could come up with something that would cause him to go into the kitchen. And then we could run in there behind him and, I don't know, hide in there? Let me see here. I am an alcohol-operated detective. If you want me to clean up the dead body and solve the case, you need to insert alcohol into my mouth. That's just the way of it, man. You know what? He's not going to be receptive to this. I can tell you right now. I don't think the rest of this is going to work either. And honestly, I don't want alcohol. I just want... There's no version of this that ends with him going to the kitchen, I bet. Never mind. Never mind. We'll just go to bed and we'll figure out all the rest of this stuff tomorrow. It's only been like 10 episodes or something. Seems like an okay time to start day 2. So if we go to sleep now, we probably get like an actual reasonable amount of time's worth of sleep. I bet it is the case that if you don't sleep enough, there are penalties to be paid. This seems like the sort of game, right? Oh, hold on. Before we go to bed, can I fix the faucet yet? I don't remember. We haven't done anything to unlock the check. It's an interfacing check. An interfacing check that we should have passed in the first place. Just real frustrating. I feel like we never pass low checks, but we do often fail high checks. I just want I just want it to be a little bit more even is all. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. I guess let's just crawl into bed. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then we have some kind of horrific, truly fucked up nightmare. Just a guess. I should have taken all that Pyrrholidon before sleeping. And then, sleep doesn't come. I'm familiar with this song. But why? Maybe it's the bed's fault. Let's inspect the pillow. The pillow is very important. Its synthetic filling is separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. It smells of alcohol and sweat and grease. Okay, I can see how that might interfere. What about the blanket? It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. A bit tense in the muscles. Relax. Okay, let's try rolling over. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Well, yeah, who killed him? Who? Something to do with... What was it that the lieutenant said? The Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brainwaves. But who killed him? Who? Why, I get the same response. Who would have thought? Alright, no more thoughts. Fall asleep time. Maybe. If we can. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you, until your eyelids twitch in your sleep, and images start forming. Okay, this is where the really screwed up nightmares come in. Oh yeah, I'm actually in control here. Can I zoom out a little bit? So we have some... I don't know, is that water, or are these holes in the world and I'm seeing through them? It's bad. It's whatever it is, it's bad. I assume they want me to go into the yard there. Oh yeah, okay, so they're gonna completely block everything off. I was just wondering if there might be something sneakily hidden away in some corner of my subconscious here. Apparently it's not gonna work that way. Oh hey, what's up, me? What's up, me?
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
Oh hey, it's my reptile brain. I remember
Do
nothing.
you remember your wife's hand on your face?
I imagine I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle, and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I'm not sure which of these options to pick. I can get it all back as, like, really setting myself up for some disaster, but this is a real weird dichotomy, you know? There should be some version of, hey, I'm gonna try to just be okay. I don't want to come back as strong, especially when talking to your reptile brain. Like, I'm a little worried that this leads to not waking up. I think 2 is probably more correct than 1 for our character, but neither one of them are really right.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere, burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history.
It hardly seems like anything I could do would cause a failure of this magnitude.
You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
Hey, I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do, even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
I can come back from this. I still don't like... I don't know, the way this is worded is a little... I don't need to come back, I just need to keep moving forward. But we literally only have one choice left, so...
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown? Who are you kidding?
Well, I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
My limbic system kind of sucks. I mean, I guess, whose fault is that, right? Hooray, I got my morale back. Let's just say I'm not surprised that he didn't sleep well. Wonder if we can interact with this door now, because it should go into Kim's room here, right? Good going, buddy. Oh yeah, I just had the most beautiful dream. Uplifting, really rejuvenating. Really? Because you feel even worse this morning than you did last night. What the hell is going on with me? You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think. It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. No, that's not it. Really, I feel super good. Am I going to try to deceive myself through the power of positive thinking here? No, that's probably not going to work. Why is this happening? Well, it's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. No, don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself. We just barely succeeded thanks to our new higher volition. Wait, what is speed? Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? You got up from this floor because of a holy vow you made 16 years ago with me to wake up exactly 7:30 every morning until the day you die. That sounds miserable. No, don't be silly. There was no vow. You were high on speed. That was the only reason you got up. You can't detect without it. It's that simple. An interesting question then arises. Do we give in to this? I mean, we're probably more effective on the speed. For now, in the short term. But maybe this is a good moment to try to get clean. We have some thoughts and stuff. We have some good mechanical reasons that we might want some speed. And, like, do I think our character is going to be able to shake all this off? My inclination is to say yes, and try to go clean, but that is the thing that I would do in literally every game, and I'm wondering if that's me more than that's Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau here. I feel like I feel a little bad, like we're doing him a disservice if we opt in, but also I do just kind of want to do a different thing than I usually do in games, so I think that's what we're going to do. Well, I need to get more of it then. Detecting is my life. Of course. Martinez is speed central, and you just gotta poke around, follow your nose. You and Speed will be happy again. You will make her come home. This time it will be different. Uh-oh, that's gone sideways real fast. Even before I actually got any speed. Alright, let's see if I can... Nope. I can't even, like, knock on the door. I just don't even have the option to interact with that in a sensible way. So, out of curiosity, it looks like no, sleeping did not reset any checks. I was just wondering. So I got these boots, I gotta clean these off. I am not going to bother finding any smokes. This we might do. You know, I do owe these people something, and if the speed's gonna help me get there, that's maybe a good idea. Should we knock? Maybe I should try to go downstairs and wash the boots before we wake Kim. Although Kim might already be awake and down there, too. By 2 o'clock, everyone's asleep. You know, except for Kuno. Because, of course. He never needs rest. He's like a devil. Yep, Kim's already awake and waiting for my dumbass. Let's go to the kitchen. I noticed the kitchen door is open. Summer door, closed for the winter. That makes sense. It is the summer door. Hey, Kim, how's it going? Hey, listen, I'm gonna do a thing here in a second. You don't need to watch this. He gives you a quick nod. Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. He points to the mess hall doors. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. Yeah, what do you mean, rowdy? I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here... Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for said policing. I think it's them. That seems bad. There are so many of them. Maybe we should call in reinforcements? That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debordeurs Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So, let's keep a cool head, okay? Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Good thinking. One more thing before we do. Heap glances at the booth again. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business. Oh, I intend to. We'll come back and talk to them later. Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder? I am awfully curious, yes. They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine with me. Do you really think that that's a way you ought to be living your life, man? Tomatoes are so thinly sliced you can see through them. Incredible. What fine work you've done here. The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence. Hey, do you know what's behind that blue door over there? He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Okay, that's a little suspicious. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I do not know what's behind the door. Hey, you wouldn't mind if I were to boil some boots in here, would you? The man takes another drag of his cigarette and shakes his head, smiling widely. It's not clear whether he understood your question. I'm not even going to ask him about the fridge thing, because I think we're just going to send the body off for processing at this point. So, this industrial gas-powered stove has been used to prepare food for many hungry hostel guests. There are several pots and pans on hand. What are you planning to do? Throw a dinner party? Please refrain from culinary experiments until after we've finished the investigation. Oh, fine. I have these boots, right? Like, feels like I gotta... Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about how many boots I have. There's nothing we can do with this door. I think what we should do right now is go and talk to the truck driver. Because we have more empathy. We could, in theory, actually pass that check. I think it was pretty close last time. And if we did that, we might be able to move on with Joyce's whole thing. We might crack this whole case wide open. But first, let's talk to this lady.
Just a moment, officer. And there's no public phones nearby.
She's agitated and keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
He appears to be genuinely apologetic.
It's fine. I understand. Thank you anyway. Now then.
Good day, ma'am. Everything all right?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Wait, what's wrong with the phone line here?
The manager was vague about it.
Yeah, he does that. Why would he be vague? This is something to look into later. Ask Gart, maybe. Yeah, well, he would be the one who would know.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi, may I ask what you needed to use the phone for, madame?
To let the young woman who is house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to be back on Monday night, but they're still missing and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel. Oh, forgive me for not introducing myself. My name is Lena. My husband and I are staying with a friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
You know, this sounds more like a side thing. I need to take care of my main thing. No. We're asking questions. Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
A cold breeze hisses through dense thickets of reeds. Something sweet in it, somnolent. A damp chill goes down your spine. When you look around, you're still in the whirling in rags.
But you have more important things to worry about.
I'm actually pretty curious about this. My shivers are giving me a sense that this might be something pretty interesting. So your husband is some kind of scientist? Oh yes, she says with a pinch of pride. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise. That is my favorite kind. What is cryptozoology? It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends, so exactly the sort of thing we'd be into. That's one opinion, yes, and people are entitled to their opinions. She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her. My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby. It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species, called cryptids, is difficult and often thankless, and frankly many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research. The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite. She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own. Well, this is a pretty bad check. Why is my suggestion so poor? We could fix that. We have gear. I might be wearing the wrong gear here. What is this expedition your husband was on? Well, just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant, Gary, are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast, across the waterlock, to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them? Well, it's probably the fact that the waterlock's broken. The waterlock? That was broken. Could this be it? Wait, who's this Gary person? Do you trust him? She smiles. Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I'd trust him with my husband's life any day. Well, the waterlock to the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably just stuck on the other side. Oh my, what happened to the waterlock? Word around the canal is some weird new cryptid destroyed it. No, I have way too much respect for the field of cryptozoology to make such a joke. That's probably just some technical problem. Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful, she turns to Kim. To both of you. You've spared me another sleepless night. You're welcome, ma'am. She turns back to you. I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband. Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation. I was thinking a very similar thing, actually. And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the waterlock's been repaired. And it's cold out there. Yeah, you know what? If I see him, I'll let you know you're here. When or if I get there. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie. You better tell me more about Morel. Looks, character, your relationship. I'm realizing I don't know how to find him. Oh, dear. I'm not sure where to begin. Well, what does he look like? Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the fieldwork, but he's quite gentle. It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world. Okay, let's try again. If I were trying to meet him on the street, what would I look for? Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even. Okay, that's actually useful. The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description. One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds. You know, just in case. Okay, well that is going to be helpful. This is not relevant, but out of curiosity, how long have you been married? We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Her smile is soft. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. And how did the two of you meet? Via a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are. She smiles wistfully. She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later. I don't know that I need to, honestly. Alright, I think I have all the information I need. So we might be able to... It might be the case that we should have tried this check before, because of that +1 that we got there might have unlocked it as well. But also, if we're going to talk to her about cryptids, maybe talking about the insect first could help the check even more. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. She catches herself. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae. The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance. No, Kim, I want to hear about the insect. Well, she hesitates. It's a phasmid, technically, but... Ah, yes, Phasmatodia. A diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially. Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. She looks you in the eye and nods thoughtfully. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers. I knew it. The lieutenant sighs. We're going to be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists. It's not made up, officer, I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all. What makes you think it's around here, aside from the name, I'm assuming? Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper. about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping. So a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have? Well, of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at. Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses. You seem really excited about this cryptid. Well, I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses. So, does it have cool powers? Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. Her face lights up at the thought of it. It's how it stayed hidden all these years, centuries even. Okay, so you don't know what the word cool means. That's fine. Is it dangerous? She chuckles to herself. Oh, not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully? Is it valuable? Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie. Yeah, if only that were true. Okay, so what's so special about this stick bug, then? Oh, dear, I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. The woman's face flushes with embarrassment. Morel can explain it much better. I wish you could hear him describe it, then you'd understand, I'm sure. Okay, that's all for now, ma'am. Do we have our suggestion clothes on? I guess I could just look over here and see that we do not have plus suggestion right now. We do have some stuff, though, right? That gives minus. Oh, it was this fancy blue coat, wasn't it? Yeah. Throw that on. And then I don't think we have anything else that affects it. But now that I have this very fine coat on,
Oh, hello,
please.
dear. There you are again.
Tell me some things about cryptids. Hey, I got it. Once again, though, you can only roll high when all I needed was a middling value. Well, there's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask. Hey, Lena, I'd really like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Could you just tell me about a couple of them? Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company, too. The lieutenant throws you one of his looks. One cryptid. Not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. Cryptid extravaganza? I like the sound of that. That's my new name. And I don't. Just one. Or he'll be disappointed in you. Ooh, tough choice there. Just one, huh? That's very interesting. What's the most dangerous cryptid? Wait, oh no, are there any invisible ones? That's also fascinating. Let's ask about the invisible cryptids. What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are. Of course, all fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them. Shush, Kim, she's going to tell me about the invisible cryptid. What is it? It's the Koldomama, the woman corrects her glasses. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. The Koldomama is very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track. Koldomama can also be translated as a whisper, light and low. A whisper, light and low. Her eyes light up behind her glasses. Yes, that's another translation. They're both quite lovely, aren't they? Although the low part is a little ironic. The Koldomama makes, or rather is, such a high-pitched sound that other animals, including humans, can't hear it. It could be everywhere, all the time, and we wouldn't know. The lieutenant looks at her skeptically. Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound? Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory. Well, no, of course not. That's ridiculous. I mean, could it be here? Like, right now? It could be, she says calmly. As I said, it could be everywhere, and we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives. and knights. So why is the Mama Dakwa so afraid of us? That is a sad story, she frowns. A group of university students assisting with the fieldwork in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction. Extinction? She nods gravely. They tried to communicate with it, and had no other means but sound, so they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mama Dakwa's. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear? This seems like a thing we probably actually know. Psst, they cancel each other out? Oh, yeah, they cancel each other out. Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population. Great regret washes over her, a wending cloth. After that, the corpuscles appear to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ia, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Mama Dakwa population anywhere. Of course, a common thread in these, disappearance and unfalsifiability, he concedes. I liked the story, though, ma'am. I'm glad you did, dear. She seems genuinely glad. So, what evidence is there of this animal being a sound? Well, plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ia mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds. Songbirds. The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest-pitched bat calls. They realized that they had discovered a new species, and called it the Mama Dakwa, after the Paracarnassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent. Wow. They even grew quite obsessed with these little birds, even though they couldn't see them. They could distinguish among individual birds, and, she smiles, even began to name some of them. Name them. Sequester, Time, Josquin? She nods. Those are but some of the Mama Dakwa they followed individually. Oh man, interesting. What about... She smiles gently. What about what? Kim's gonna be annoyed with me, but I also need to ask about the most dangerous cryptid. I just have to know. The lieutenant leads in. Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid. No, I didn't. You said I would only ask about one cryptid. Right, okay, we can move on for now. It would be dishonorable to renege on the promise. Here's the thing. I didn't promise. And Kim is trying to manipulate me with what he knows is my considerable regard for him, but I'm gonna let him because I do feel really bad about everything he's done for us and what a total mess I've been so far. Right, okay, we can move on for now. He nods approvingly. Alright, that's all for now, ma'am. But we're going to come back, and we are going to ask more questions about cryptids. So how long do we have left on this? 2 hours, 37 minutes? Okay. Someday soon we will know the result of our rigorous self-critique, but for now, I'm afraid we are out of time. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow, when maybe we finally move this dead body out of that yard. And we'll see you then.